Hi everybody, this is Hobo Jo on the go, and thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to discuss something that's a little on the serious side. You know, you've probably heard on the news about Gabby, that the young lady who was going across country with her boyfriend in a van, and her body's been found in the Grand Teton area. And then I watched a thing on CNN that they said, you know, we don't really post reality on Instagram and our YouTube videos. And I got to tell you, it got me thinking, and I thought, you know, they're absolutely right. I said at the beginning that I wanted to give you a realistic look at what goes on out here, what it's like living in my van for those of you who are actually thinking of getting a van or a minivan, an SUV type little rig to travel in. I wanted to show you some of the good and the bad parts of it, and I haven't done a very good job of that. I've been basically showing you all the good, and I got to be perfectly honest with you, on a daily basis there are frustrating things about van life that just really get under my skin. And you know, I thought I need to be honest with my viewers and tell them the truth about how I really, you know, what frustrates me as I go about my day. So that's what we're going to do today. I actually have a list of 10 things. So let's get started. My first thing that really frustrates me has got to be the weather. Either it's too hot or it's too cold. We're out in BLM land in Santa Fe, right outside of Santa Fe, and it has been 88, 90, 92, which means it's 110 in this tin can that I live in. So twice now I've left, and I've actually gone to different campgrounds. One was North Santa Fe, up in the Black Canyon campground, and then a second time I took off and went up to Red River, New Mexico, where it was 9,000 plus feet elevation and, you know, a lot cooler. 70s during the day, but unfortunately it was going down into the 30s at night, which made it a little too cold. So Santa Fe was too hot and there was too cold. So it's kind of hard to find that happy medium. It was going down to like 34, 36 degrees, and it got pretty cold at night. But I had like 3 blankets on and my little my little hat, my little beanie hat, and pretty much the only thing sticking out was my nose. But I slept like a baby. Unfortunately, there's going to be times in the middle of the night where you got to get out from your little warm cocoon and go to the bathroom or something, and you know, so yeah. Too hot or too cold, but weather is my number one. My number two is the wind, and that kind of is like the weather too. But the wind, we're in desert, and there's like little scrub trees out here, not really enough to stop the wind, and it hasn't rained, so it's dry and it's dusty, and when that wind picks up, it just blows that dust. I clean my van 2 or 3 times a day, and it's still just covered with dust. I mean, you ought to see my dash right now. It's like the whole thing needs to be redusted. So we wanted to start a campfire last night, and it was just a no-go because, you know, between the dry and the wind, it's like it was just too dangerous of a situation. So yeah, the dust, constantly cleaning from the dust. The third one, most of the girls are going to really be bothered by this one, or the bugs have been really bad. They've got these black biting flies. At night, if you want to sit outside, you pretty much have to put some long pants on and some socks and shoes. Otherwise, they're going to be biting at your legs, biting at your ankles. And then they've had just an outbreak of caterpillars. I don't know what it is about. There's caterpillars everywhere. When I was here a couple weeks ago, before I went to Red River, there weren't the caterpillars, but there are this time. There's caterpillars all over the place. And check out this guy. I was on my way out and I could see this guy. Uh-oh, he's coming towards me. Pretty good size. Yeah, I was driving out and I looked down and I thought, what is that walking across the road? And sure enough, it was a tarantula. So yeah, the bugs. Number 4 is, in my sticks and bricks, I had a nice walk-in 3-sided pantry with the shelves. I could see everything that I had. You know, I could see all the food that I had. That's not so in a van. I have food in like 5 different places, and you will forget where you put things. The other night I wanted Mexican pizza, and for Mexican pizza I make it with tortillas and I make it with tomato paste and pepperoni and cheese. I knew I had tomato paste somewhere, where I pretty much tore my van apart and never did find any of that tomato paste. So you kind of forget what you have, what you don't have, what you've used, what you need. I mean, it's just like you're constantly rearranging your food and trying to get your food better organized. Much easier to have a walk-in pantry. Number 5 is laundromats versus my own laundry room. I went to the laundromat yesterday and did 3 big front tumblers because, you know, everything had dust on it. My bedding all had dust on it. So I did 3 big loads, and of course it was kind of busy there, and there weren't enough carts to go around, and everybody was guarding their cart like their life depended on it, and you know, it's just frustrating not having your own laundry room. Number 6 is showers. Oh my God! I mean, how can you say, you know, home showers versus the way we shower out here? A couple of different ways. You know, we almost all wash up in a big bucket. We, you know, we'll warm up water in a big bucket inside our rig and get a good wash down. We almost always do that. And then I showed you one place where I put my tarp up against my back doors and actually put my bucket right there at the back of my van with a cup, and I could, you know, put it on myself, and I washed myself off. It actually turned out really well. But that's okay if you are in a place where you have a water spigot or a couple of water spigots, and you can get extra water. Now out here where we are, there is no water spigot at all. We have to go into town, and my friend Max has found one place at a Smith's grocery store that actually has a water spigot where we can fill up our gallon jugs. But so most of the time you're actually kind of rationing your water and watching your water intake. You know, it's nothing like walking into your shower and getting in there and using 10 gallons of water. I mean, we try to keep a gallon or less that we're using, and you know, it can be done, but most of us have Planet Fitness memberships. However, you don't really realize that if you're away from your home location where you've signed up and you send your money, you're allowed 10 visits to Planet Fitness outside that location a month. You can always go to Lowe's and pay like $12 to take a shower, and you know, different laundromats I found around the country. A couple of them have a shower area there that you can go into, but you know, it's community showers, not as clean or sanitary as it's going to be if it was your own shower. So yeah, showers out here versus your shower at home is a lot different. So that was number 6. Number 7, this one I should have said with the wind, but if it's really windy outside, it's very hard to cook outside, because you know, the other day I wanted to just melt some cheese on some tortilla chips, and so you want to turn it low, and of course the wind kept blowing it out, and you don't really want to bring it into your van where there's no wind, because then you're going to be having to deal with heating up your tin can even more. So the wind when you're trying to cook outside in the wind. That was number 7. Number 8 is there's no trash pickup out here, so you kind of have to, again, there's so many reasons you have to leave your area and go to town, you know, find some place to dump your trash there. And usually I try to keep it to 2 little bags before I go in and dump it, because then I can take it to maybe a gas station or a Walmart or something. But you know, if you get too much trash, I mean, then what are you going to do with it? So you're just trying to figure out what to do with your trash. This one I kind of already discussed, and that's water rationing. I guess I discussed this when I was talking about showers. But yeah, we have to be really careful with our water out here. And yet at the same time, because we're at higher elevations, we're in the desert or something, you really need to increase your water intake. So you have to be very cognizant of how many gallons of water you have left, and when it's getting kind of low and you need to make a run to town, find a place to get some more water. Number 10, oh, you're going to love this one, are the pit toilets. Ugh. Now, when we were staying at the campground up in Red River, she took excellent, excellent care of those pit toilets. Even had the air freshener in there, which really helped. But out here where we are, they just finally, after all this time, they just finally came. I saw the trucks come in to deal with the pit toilets, and of course, then it smelled like sewer for 30 minutes back in here. The wind blowing it right over to your van. So, and not very sanitary. I mean, how are you going to go in and wash your hands after you get done and everything, you know? So the pit toilets versus your own bathroom at home that's, you know, clean and sanitized and has all the toilet paper and stuff you need. Sometimes that's not so easy out here, and it can be extremely frustrating. Most of us have a place to go to the restroom in our van, but at the same time, you got to figure out where to dump that every couple of days. So, I mean, it's very convenient when you're driving so you don't have to pull over the side of the road, like I'm sure some of us have done at one time or another when we're traveling. But pull over the side of the road, or at 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, you don't want to go walking through the dark over to the pit toilet or something, you know. So you want, and here's what I have in my van. But yeah, then you have to find a place to dump it. Not always easy. So that is 10. I have one that is not even on the list, but is a real problem and really frustrating. And that's when you are at a place that doesn't have good cell signal or good Wi-Fi signal. When I want to watch a movie in the evening and I go to download it and I don't have enough signal to download a movie, or, you know, my Verizon is not strong enough to call my family, I mean, that can be extremely frustrating. So actually, that's 11. I guess I could have done the wind together, but yeah. And I promised you 13. Well, my friends came up with 3 when I told them what my video was going to be about today. They said, oh, well, you didn't mention the ATVs that go running through here and just kick up dust all over the place. And they have a whole big area over there on the side, but do they bother to go over there? No, they have to come right through, you know, where the campers are and everything, and stir up all the dust. And the next one is the disrespectful dog owners. They think because they're out here on this open land that they can have their dogs off a leash, and if they're going to run at people walking by your site, or run at people when they're out there walking their dogs, and that dog, you've got to be responsible for your dog. And please, 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 even though you're out here, pick up after your dog. Nobody wants to go step in that. You know, just be respectful. This is your pet. You got to be responsible for it. And then the third thing they mention are the bigger rigs that come out here that have the refrigerators and the air conditioners, and they run very loud generators right around. We all moved, well, me and my friends, we all moved to the opposite side of this. See, a fly has got me. The opposite, better not bite me. The opposite side of the BLM area, because their generator was so loud. And so that brings us to pretty much 13 things. I should count them again. I might actually even be at 14, but I hope that this gives you a little bit more realistic idea of some of the things that you're actually going to be dealing with. Now, I talked to the other 2 ladies who are out here with me, and all 3 of us agreed that it's not a deal breaker, that we still love this, and yes, you do learn to deal with it. It's a little bit more difficult than staying in a sticks and bricks, obviously. You know, it's harder to stay clean. Sometimes I look down and I think, oh, my fingernails are so dirty. But I think I have got to go to town. I have got to take a shower, you know. But I hope it doesn't discourage you. I just wanted to give you a little bit more realistic view. Anyway, thanks for staying with me all the way to the end. And please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have subscribed, I am so grateful for you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.